Yeah. Yeah. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Elite Series Promotion Tournament League of Legends Division 2 with SLOTHS against FULLCLEAR Esports. I don't know if we can get the Squirtle or not. Anyway, he isn't not too important, so we can live without. And actually, and that could be really interesting. There's at least the noise is really cool. But there's actually a second caster coming. So I mean, you hear it from my voice, you hear it from my earrings, I don't know. I'm pretty tired. So there's actually a second caster coming. It's the handsome beast. You all know him. You all love him. So it will be a fame. It's just a great cast with the handsome beast, right? But we need to set up it and whatever. Right? There's a lot stuff technical going on in the background. So with like time warping and all the fancy shit in the world. So yeah. Will be a banger to cast with him, and but for the moment I'm casting alone as long as he isn't there, right? Not alone, Squirrel is there, but basically alone. And with that, as soon as we can get into the challenge select, of course we will do it. And like I think FULLCLEAR stays on blue side, so we essentially have the same draft, I would assume. Jarvan should be open, wasn't really a big threat. And I don't know what they want to change. I don't know. Essentially, there's not really a good way out for them, in my opinion. As long as they play like they played, I think it's just over for FULLCLEAR. But let's see if they can get back into the business and essentially bring it home, or if they drop out of the bracket and have no chance for promote. For SLOTHS, it's match point, so they can actually promote. Maybe, I mean, they are just on the way for it, but maybe they have luck or something. And if they win, and I mean the last two games seem promising that they win the third game now, or the fourth game, then we have a 3-1 in the end. But FULLCLEAR, definitely hang on and stay tuned, because they definitely had at least some returning fights and tried their best, right? But especially Poppy Jarvan didn't really look too strong. The Orianna got solo killed twice or third time, so was really hard. And then bot lane Sarah Khan was really strong. Is the handsome beast no here, or I just heard some Discord noises, so I don't know. Just some so hello. Okay, he is on.
Okay.
So handsome beast Daniel, hello and welcome.
Hello. I must apologize immediately for the bad mic quality today. I am totally not at home, and I was totally not to plan to cast, but I saw you casting all alone, and I figured I should help you out. You should not have to do this alone all night, right?
Oh, that's so sweet. By the way, are you in your hometown now, or in the hometown of your girlfriend?
I am in none of these, actually.
None of those, okay.
I'm in my old university town.
Yeah, sure. But
where I studied.
Isn't there your main apartment?
No, not anymore. I am now living back in Luxembourg and working there.
Yeah, sure, but
I used to live here when I studied here.
Yeah.
You want the room tour?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm on Wi-Fi. I could do one, actually. No, but I think we should talk about the best of 5. Has been really exciting so far.
Did you watch it?
I always wanted to cry already, but now with SLOTHS bump back finally.
Did you watch it? So could you watch it on the phone, or at least hear it or something?
Yeah, I kind of listened to it as a podcast while driving.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Hopefully my podcast was fine. Yeah, Riftloss, by the way, is 2-1 if they really want to change it. Yeah, same bans like last game. Hikram, I don't know if you remember, first game, Hikram pretty much crushed Riftloss, so they now start to ban him, which makes sense.
I mean, that's what Gallop is known for, right? So it makes sense to ban it. So they didn't ban it in the first game. Okay, I missed that one, I think.
Yeah, they didn't ban it there. And lost it. I mean, makes sense. Cruzen loses as Nautilus. Zeri ban. Zeri was contested in the first 2 games and then got banned now in the 3rd and 4th game. Cruzen played, I think, 1 game of Nautilus, and the other 2 games it was banned. And yeah,
Can
so
been perma-banned also against Shred.
Yeah,
I think, right?
Yeah,
okay,
definitely. And Jax also on blue side now.
Against
it was
Lex,
second time. It was second time ban. Well, so the Jarvan is open. It's the same bans from game 3. So Jarvan is open. I assume that FULLCLEAR will opt into it, even though they hovered Mundo last Gem Select. So they might now go back to the Mundo game. Because they just see, because Jarvan wasn't really a threat last game, but Jarvan is just the strongest champion on the picks, on the patch, so they need to secure him. And so last time there was now a Xayah first pick. Did they pick Rakan second, or did they pick Rakan third? I don't know exactly. Maybe it was Xayah Rakan instant, something like that. Yeah, I think it was Xayah Rakan instant, and then came the Silas. And then came...
It was.
Yeah.
I saw that, the Chancellor, definitely. I also find it interesting that FULLCLEAR is not adapting to the Gwen or Flax, which I think, from what I heard, and as I said, I didn't really see the games, I just heard them, but I think the Gwen was important.
Yeah, the Gwen did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They probably ban it out in the second ban phase, because if they go for Orianna here, I think they will just slam the Silas instantly like last time. At the moment it's the exactly same draft. I think they picked the Fios now, or they picked the Fios first and then the Orianna, but it's at the moment still the same draft. Maybe a Fios, but I think it's still the way to go. It's the Wombo combo. It's Nomad's one of his best champions. I mean, they could spice it up with some things like Samira or something, just to go for early game, but no, just to scaling Wombo. And yeah, that was the last time hover, but I think he will still slam Silas, and then he is good to go. And I believe that they blind picked the Gwen, and then Poppy got picked into it, and then they picked jungle. What was it? Can't quite remember.
I really don't like that FULLCLEAR is like not adapting at all here. Like they're just repicking what they picked, and I mean they lost with it, so it didn't work out for them. And especially from what I heard, we saw Bikan play really well on the Silas against the Orianna. So why do they go again for this Orianna here?
I mean, Nemera played Orianna now for the 4th time, so I mean it's just comfort, I would assume. It's solo queue comfort, it's competitive comfort for him. And I mean, it's not the worst matchup against Silas, but he just got crushed. And yeah, it's I mean, it's the salty run back. They know if we play the early game better, then we can win with it, so just try it again. And there's nothing to lose. I mean, again, losing against Riftloss is not unusual, so I mean, not that they can do a lot of things better, and I need at least one adept with the Kayn ban. But now probably Gwen blind is a good way to play it, and then I don't know, just play.
I find it funny that you mentioned that losing against SLOTHS is not a bad thing necessarily. I remember a time where we thought SLOTHS would go to the diff 1 completely loseless, and now I'm like, please don't drop out, guys. So I don't know. I mean, they are definitely struggling in this promotion tournament, but they seem to have found their tempo now again.
Yeah. I mean, they started with a 1-0 against FULLCLEAR. I mean, that's something. And I quite like that they now adapt with the Nocturne and not blind top lane. I think getting a good top lane matchup is something good. Against Renekton, finding a good top lane matchup is kinda hard. I mean, there are a lot of skill matchups you could play, so it's not easily won then, but just flex something, because Lex definitely is the better top laner out of those two. And the funny thing is, Kled is open the whole time, so I mean, not in the second game, I guess, but from now on, Kled was always open. Feste, but just plays other stuff. There's another adaptation, I think, with the Alistar, or did they play Alistar last game? I think they played him, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was a Braum. Was it a Braum? No, it was a Lulu. It was a Lulu.
It was a Braum. Yeah, it was a Lulu, and the game before they played Braum.
Yeah. So getting back to Alistar, and especially I like the Alistar against the Cannon, and I picked the Cannon into the Alistar because you can just knock him out of the team fight when he tries to engage. So essentially a little self counter there, but at least they found a good matchup against the Renekton, which is good to have. And of course, especially later on in those team fights, with Nocturne making everybody blind, Lex has so many weird angles to just engage into those team fights, and Alistar can't control all the flanks, so that's
exactly.
a really good combo.
I think that's an important point here to make. Like, Alistar can't headbutt every engage from the SLOTHS away, and they probably want to headbutt the Silas away. They want to headbutt the Nocturne dive away. They want to get rid of the Rakan, so you can't like get rid of everything with just an Alistar. So I think with SLOTHS just has so much go buttons, as QT would like to say, that it will probably or should be able to work out at least against the Alistar. But I actually also really like the team composition from FULLCLEAR here. I mean, they have a very solid team fight. And what do you think of like the matchup on the lane Renekton against Cannon? But because that's the one I'm most unsure about.
Yeah, it should be winning for the Cannon, like, especially there's not really much room for the Renekton to engage on him, because every time he tries to dash, Cannon will just run away with E, or you have just the stun ready to go and stuff. And I mean, the best part about Cannon is that you hopefully just poke down the Renekton so that he cannot find the engage angle, because he is always just too bullied away. So essentially, I believe it's a good matchup for the Cannon.
Okay, and now we see a little bit of an invade here from the Rift squad.
Yeah.
But they've already seen each other here, and I don't think it's going to result in much.
Yeah, they went for there are some crazy invades, like especially in the first game. They had this Nomad. So do you play by play, or do I play by play?
I am absolutely not sure, because I am on Wi-Fi. My connection already crumbled now a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I can do it.
I would say you do play by play.
Oh, there's a big knockout, 4-man knockout. That's deep, and there's the chains, and with that they get the first kill onto Nocturne, and now Skyonish needs to run, but they flash behind, and so double kill for the Nocturne. It's a perfect start for him. And now even there's some other kills on the line. They might get to the Crocodile chains, connecting with that the knock up. But now they need maybe to run, because the Crocodile and Nomad, they look angry, but just 2 kills in the early game for the Rift loss.
Yeah, oh my god, what a level 1 play. I mean, that's also what a Rakan brings to your team, right? Like, this level 1 pressure is just insane that we've just put up, and that's a lot thanks to the immediate CC you get with like the Rakan Xayah bot lane. And they aren't even done yet. They're still going here for Skyonish, dropping really low.
Oh, so
maybe he will get out. One more attack from Shredded. No, they won't so get close. It. And now Bikan and Shredded actually are in a bit of a bad position here, and we'll have to look how they can get out of there. But of course, Direct Cam needs to show us top lane for a second, yeah? And Shredder's going for the execute here. So yeah, no, very weird start for both jungles, I would say.
Yeah, it's very weird to say let's make Let's make play by Tana and then you just jump in. That's fine. That's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's in your blood. It's fine. Yeah, like not only the Rakan was good in those. Oh, just flash and the next ball will kill him probably. Oh no, he decides for the wrong way, but has the auto attack for the right way. And not only the Rakan is good in those engaged situations, but especially Bukan with just the instant dash and stun in those situations where you need to chase someone down. Just connected all the stuns in this invade to get auto kills. So that was basically the most important factor in this invade.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can say that's a very messy start into the game. That Whiff comes out a little bit on top, but I think it also like suits their team composition, right?
Yeah.
To be a little bit messy with the Nocturne and all.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with Nocturne, you want those messy team fights, those long team fights. Then, of course, you have Sylas, who loves there, to just wants to scale up his ceiling and the Conqueror and stuff. And then, of course, Syra Khan loves to fight. So, and especially like champions, like the Orianna, for example, can only throw the ball once and cannot return it. Jarvan only has one half of his combo, so that's always a little bit annoying. And Renekton, no, at least gets a little chunk. But yeah, so you just don't have the good level 1 champions like like Riftsloth had.
Absolutely. Khan playing very aggressively here, considering his HP bar. But I guess he has to in order to get out under the tower.
Yeah, now they try to run down Skyonage.
Bot lane Skyonage really low already, and the Ignite takes him down. And now Nomad is even on the 1 as well, should be able to get safely under his tower here. But that's another kill going to the Riftsloth bot lane.
Yeah, good play by play there.
Yeah, sorry. I just
no. You do it. I'm totally fine. I'm the analyst. I'm totally fine with it. Yeah, just another kill by the Riftsloth, and like we said, if they win this game, they are essentially in the semifinals against Pertinax again. Last time they lost it. This time maybe they win it. At least they are better in form, you could say. So. Winning today definitely means that they are prepared to go for their last big threat before finals against a Dynasty who looks really strong. I mean, they 3-0'd FULLCLEAR while Rift dropped the first game, so Dynasty looks strong if we compare those two in those games.
Yeah, and I think even before meeting Dynasty, potentially in the finals, they would still have to beat Pertinax, which have already once shown that they can beat the Riftsloth, and they have turned them into the lower bracket. So I think either way it will be very tough games tomorrow and then potentially on Tuesday, if they even get better.
Yeah, tomorrow another best of 5. Let's go. I like that.
Tomorrow you should be able to get some sleep though, or do you have to work tomorrow as well?
No. I get some resting at least. But still, it's another best of 5, and potentially a long one.
Yeah, and potentially a very good fight for FULLCLEAR here, as they have the wombo combo engaged. They want here at that dragon fight. Adafa is coming in now. Skyonage is quite low, but they have already shut down Nocturnal here. Nocturne, of course, I mean. And with that, 2 kills, because we can't somewhere died as well, going to the counter of FULLCLEAR here.
Yeah, good fight there at the dragon. Nobody gets it in the end, but at least they stop it from being taken down, which is always a good thing. So, well played. And of course, getting some more kills means that they get their claws back in the game.
Yeah, and now Lex could be in a dangerous position. He has Gallop is approaching the top lane, but Shredded is not too far off, so maybe they can play around that. However, I think Shredded for now, he should focus a little bit on his farming, right? Because he definitely wants that level 6 sooner than later.
Yeah. And normally you have those junglers who like to gank, and then you have those junglers who like to farm. And in this game, normally Jarvan is the ganking jungler and Nocturne is the farming one. But yeah, just from stats-wise, one is more farming than the other. So this Jarvan pick is not really working out too much, at least. Like we saw in the first game, it's maybe the strongest champion on patch. But still you need to do some things right, and at the moment it's just not clicking for Gallop with this Jarvan. He just has not this early pressure that you can normally have, and just some trades in the mid lane. The matchup, like we saw it plenty of times now, looks really good at the moment for Bukan.
Yeah, and I also I really like that Shredded is playing Nocturne or like in general other champions. I know that on Monday he only played Xin Zhao, and I know technically Xin Zhao is super strong on this patch, but I mean losing 3 out of 4 games with it definitely shows that it doesn't seem to work out for you. And
Yeah.
I really like that they are now adapting from that and picking other things in the jungle.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that they started the series on Sejuani for him. So they went a little bit back to the roots from the really successful normal season, where they basically only played tanks for him. And they lost this game. So then they might have realized, okay, tanks is just, they just don't cut it at the moment for us. And went back to the carry champions, and with that he performs really well. So maybe the tank meta for Shredded is over and he needs to get back to those aggressive junglers.
Yeah, and I think Shredded is a good aggressive jungler, but Xin Zhao is just not the champ for him. Like because I always feel like Xin Zhao is also not a carry jungler, right? It's an aggressive jungler, but it's not really a carry jungler. While compared to something like Kane or Kha'Zix that he played today, those can really like bring games home. And I think that's what Shredded needs.
Yeah, usually, especially in the early game, Xin Zhao is more of a setup champion who can take over the early game, but then it's just the meatball and especially the engager for the other champions, for the other important carries. So that's definitely a good point you are making. But yeah, it gives a lot of punch, at least in the early game. But if you cannot convert it, then Xin Zhao, especially from behind, is just not strong enough. And at the moment we have a little skirmish there, just with 2 kills for both sides, 1 kill for both sides, and both jungler essentially die in this little skirmish. And now the game kind of proceeds as normal. But we already see this big strength of Lex on the top lane, on the cannon. I mean, just look at the farm! Holy shit! Can you see it? I mean, he's just doubled the farm. And yeah, I mean, this Renekton got essentially rendered useless. And now Renekton tries to go in, but the Maelstrom is just strong enough to just stop him at the tracks. And Daniel looks like he is pretty busy.
I'm still there. I was preoccupied with something else for a very short time, but now I'm back seeing a Duffler get whipped here by a Nomad, dropping quite low there, has his ultimate to save himself and even has to use Flash there but can get under the tower. And meanwhile, on top lane, they make that crossmap play happen. Potentially taking tier 2 here, but at least getting a lot of damage onto it. Bastion is there to potentially stop the push, but it just won't work out. And that's another turret going to the counter here of the Sloths, who by now have a 4k gold lead already. But shredded in a bit of a difficult position. He has flash out, and it just won't work for them. Mera picking up the kill.
Yeah, well played. Well, shredded. Which means that, especially now if we look at the score 5-5, that FULLCLEAR got back into the game. Just a little bit, but a little bit indeed. Which is good for them, because if they lose, they are out. So having just a little sign of resistance definitely helps them to show that they are the second place team from last season, and they will do their damnedest to get into Division 1.
Ooh, diving deep here with Sloths onto Alistar here, who will be shut down. And the kill going to Shredded. Now they're even looking for the dive here onto Nomad. Gallup, of course, is just around the corner, but will he even arrive in time? Nomad dropping so fast, and he goes down to Shredded here as well, without any support from the rest of his team.
Yeah, none of that. The hero of the last mini play on the bot lane got slain. And now Renekton even gets a little bit out of the situation. I mean, he lost his full turret, but now at least get a little time to recover on the top lane, which maybe is not helping too much, because he still loses the lane. He still is like double DCS down, but at least something to get some gold.
Yeah. And I think the priority from Sloths to like first push top lane here is very interesting, because of course it liberates a lot of time for lags, right? Because the top lane is essentially twice as long now for FULLCLEAR, and that means that lags can spend twice as long over time away from the top lane and doing other stuff at other places of the map, which with Cannon works great. Win the next engage here in the mid lane. Shredded gets turned towards the tower there, but the engage is still going strong. A lot of damage coming out, but now Adafla is all alone. FULLCLEAR being able to fight back here. TP even comes in as well, but Lex is also now around corner. Gallup is pretty low there. How much can he do? He flashes behind and gets Gallup there. So I think that's a 2 for 2 if I counted correctly, and I think I did. So in the end, not the worst play for FULLCLEAR, but Rift is still going hard. Their Sky Ownage is so low. One more auto attack and he would be down here. But the cow lives another day.
He gets not prepared for the next meal, essentially.
Oh.
Yeah, like burgers. What can I say, man? What can I say?
Yeah, one could say that the Sloths live vegan today.
Yeah. I mean, 7-9, but I mean, the gold speaks in different language. 3,000 in the lead, and most of it in the top lane. I mean, just by the farm lead, just by the platings, this cannon is essentially the biggest threat on this planet so far. And maybe not the biggest threat. I mean, Orianna looks really dicey as well, with 3-0 with the most farm, but Cannon is really good in the game right so far, and he can make it work if he gets the time from his team. Drake now spawned, and with that, essentially FULLCLEAR actually is doing it. ESLOL now turned their eyes to the Herald, so they gave up the second Drake, but still are ahead in gold. And with the second Herald, they can maybe start to crack some more open turrets. But and that's something I now see after the draft. They picked Alistar into Sylas. I mean, normally you see in Alistar you pick Sylas because it's a great ultimate, or you pick Alistar and ban Sylas. But picking Alistar when you know there's a Sylas, That's a tough decision. That's a really, really tough decision for the potentially the last game of this match. Something I probably wouldn't have done.
Yeah, I think they did pick the Alistar, of course, to protect Nomad, and because it works well in the bot lane matchup overall, and probably not thinking so much about the implication that has for the later stages of the game. Of course, knowing that they also have some pretty great scaling on their side, with Aphelios and Orianna. But yeah, from the way it looks, Rift is also opting. I mean, also from like with objectives they're prioritizing. They are looking to play this rather fast here. Like I feel like going for Rift Heralds rather than Drakes is always an indication that you try to play a game faster. Yes. And I mean that also works well with their team composition.
That's true. That's true. Because you essentially get more golds than with Drakes, but you have less scaling, so you just don't play for soul and rather think that you will finish this game kinda fast. That soul isn't mattering, which is at least a decent try, but sometimes it's risky. Oh no, let's chase the cow.
Yeah, Rift is looking for the engage here. Grizzle now essentially going in there, but they don't really get the CC out the way they want, I think. And now Rift is looking for the disengage here, but Gallop is going behind there. And now the Nocturne ultimate even being pulled as a defensive tool here, but SkyOwnage is still onto it after there, who has to use his ultimate there. Grizzle trying his best to, yeah, protect his lady carry, and in the end it also works out, and SkyOwnage even gets pretty low, has to flash out of Adafla's range there.
Yeah, basically nobody died. I mean, in those big engaged situations, if nobody dies, then both sides have done a lot of things right and have done some things at least wrong because nobody died. But worked out in their favor, and yeah, it's definitely a game where both sides fight, where both sides know that they need to throw everything into this game to win it, and that's something I really like. That the stakes are high and both teams know it, so it's much more close. I mean, last time at 17 minutes, I think we had 11k gold. So maybe the draft wasn't adapted too much, but the players adapted a lot and just did not fall behind too much on the sides of FULLCLEAR.
Yeah, I mean, SLOTHS still has a decent lead here with 3k gold, but they still somehow have to translate that into a winning condition. Maybe now with the Baron, where they are fighting hard to contest the vision in that area. And yeah, I think overall, just to get back to the last fight, for me that one looked a little bit like, well, maybe we have a player on the bot lane, Lax going hard there onto Orianna, just shutting her down, and now maybe even the next pick here on the top lane, Festure dropping quite low here from Shattered and Vican already. We do have a TP coming in there from Cannon as well, so all of SLOTHS now on the top side, and with that they have that Baron prepared for themselves, and might be able to start it now, trying to force for a fight here, or of course get a Baron out of that. Gallop still being around, there's always a for FULLCLEAR to contest. Gallop also tries to get behind now, never gets spotted immediately with that blue ward. Very well done there from the SLOTHS, and now Bican tries to get into the backline there. Gallop does go in, is able to steal the Baron. Very, very well done from FULLCLEAR, and they're even going to get some kills out of that. This might be the comeback from the lower team here. Very well done from them. Double kill there going also to Nomad. And what a steal from Gallop.
Yeah, and I mean, they spotted him. You told it. You said it. They know he was there, and still it got stolen, which is always usually a bad sign. If you go for the 50-50 and then get punished by it, it's not good. I mean, and they even get the soul point Drake. So Rift's almost lost their entire lead now, and like a lot of the lead is placed onto Cannon, who wasn't there for this team fight, who then teleported in the end. But I mean, he did go for the solo kill, which was really good. But after that, the Baron situation was just not that really well executed.
Yeah, and then here we have the next pick from Wift, who are able to pick up Merida on the bot lane. So that's one Baron less to worry about for the SLOTHS here. As next objective is not up yet. We still have 4 minutes on Drake and 4 minutes on Baron.
That's true. And yeah, but objectives, especially if you have Baron, are not that important at the moment. You rather want to play for turrets. So essentially, FULLCLEAR needs to get something with this Baron and to stabilize their lead. But all the lead, especially on the side of Rift's, lays on this Cannon. I mean, the same farming difference on top lane is in mid lane as well. So Nemera with a definitely better game than last time. Did a lot of things right. Renekton actually with a funny item build because he goes for the Hull Breaker.
And when Bekan drops into Gallop there, which is not a funny sight to see, beautifully flashing the ultimate there wide away. And under the tower he should be safe.
Yep, that was a good reaction. And yeah, I think the Hull Breaker is a really funny item for the Renekton, just to keep him a little bit more tankier, and maybe even, especially with this Cannon minion, having some pushing threat, because AP champions usually do not really great against those Hull Breaker minions. But he still lost like 4 turrets against this Cannon. 2 top lane, 2 bot lane.
Yeah, now the next engage here immediately into the backline, and they do get the Aphelios wide away. And with that, the cow is tanky, but all alone and not able to do much. Trying to run towards his top lane, there where he would have some support, but yeah, also Orianna and Jarvan, they're just deciding to back away. And yeah, even though FULLCLEAR was able to steal that Baron away, they haven't been able to do much with it, right? I think the Baron power play should be a negative one at this point. They did lose towers while they had Baron, so not exactly what you want to see with from a Baron power play.
Yeah, the 3k gold are back in town for Rift's, by the way. You can see that Cannon's ultimate is on cooldown because he fought fast here underneath the turret and bullied him away. And also a little funny play from him. He already has Void Staff, still soon the Rabadon, so this Cannon essentially melts through everybody. And if they bring Lex to a team fight, then the team fight could be over in a couple of seconds. Could be a SMAP moment against G2, if people know what I mean. Probably you do. You are not knowing what I mean. You don't remember SMAP. You don't know even who SMAP is. That's so sad, probably. It's a Korean player, by the way. And he played with the Rocks Tigers, and he demolished G2 in 2016 or something with a cannon. It was like a pentakill with just cannon ult or something. It's ridiculous.
Okay, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, that I guess was a quarter or triple, or I mean, he deleted the whole team and then the team won the team fight. But it's one of League of Legends' most famous moments. So check it out.
I mean, if it's European stuff, I sometimes know it. Like I know Reckless has been playing a lot of Cannon, and now Lex is doing so as well in this team fight here. He's still missing in action though. We haven't seen a Cannon ultimate just yet. However, we have dying. We have Cannon now dying. And yeah, overall, this is not looking too good for the SLOTHS, which are on the back foot here, trying to escape. Bikan getting a lot of damage now. However, there comes the re-engage from the SLOTHS, killing off 1, killing off 2, killing off 3. And with that, it is an ace. Not a clean one, but still 2 members surviving off the SLOTHS, and Shredded and Adafla destined to push for that mid lane tower.
Adafla solo carried this team fight. Flashing for all the feathers, stunning 2 members. And that's a play, he set it up. That's a play he calls for his team and says, yo guys, they're running through my feathers, I will flash, I will go. Because you, in the instant he flashed, you could saw that Shredded move to the enemies and just executed them after this wonderful combo by Adafla. So what a play. Now they even secure this Drake for themselves, so no more soul opportunity, at least for 5 minutes. And that was a crucial team fight to win. Cannon, a little bit underwhelming, just killed Orianna or something in 1v1, and after that even died, so the shutdown even went off. So that was a little bit overwhelming for such a strong champion, for such a strong situation. But yeah, that's a good thing, just don't group.
Now, Rift is grouping here onto Sky Ownage. The poor Alistair just trying to ward there and getting completely destroyed by the 5-man squad of the SLOTHS, which of course are preparing to contest for Baron here. Bastia also gets a lot of damage, but Bikan was a little bit stuck there on the other side of the wall. Now, situation diffused between the 2 teams here, and with SLOTHS immediately taking care of that vision. Poor Sky Ownage has just set up.
Yeah, that's supporters life. And at the moment, oh, teleport comes in the backline by Bikan, but they immediately spotted, so not the best teleport angle. And as long as the Scuttler vision is there, probably no Baroness being done, so they will trap and just try to catch.
Yeah, and that seems to be working out here, as they do find the Renekton. A lot of damage is coming out there, but FULLCLEAR is trying to go for the re-engage there. Do get a lot of damage there onto Shredded and Bikan, but Adafla just dealing so much damage. Will he go down against Nomad? No, even with the ultimate being able to save himself. That's a triple kill, quadra kill even for the AD carry of the SLOTHS, and with that, Baron should be a confirmed one for them.
Yeah, it's so underwhelming what Cannon is doing. That was the second time he couldn't really kill someone. Then he tried to kill Orianna and died in the process. I mean, not that we could have seen it, but I mean, we didn't see it because the team fight was more interesting. But somehow Cannon died, even though he has like 3 items, the 3 strongest items you can essentially buy for damage, and he is still not able to solo kill Orianna, which was a little bit sad. So yeah, good team fight still by the SLOTHS. And at the moment, FULLCLEAR definitely plays it good against them, at least to hold back
the Cannon.
To hold back Cannon, yeah. He is not a threat at the moment, but
yeah, but I wouldn't blame that only on lags. Like, I think FULLCLEAR is also doing a really good job at keeping Cannon out of the team fight, which of course is important, because with Cannon in it, they would probably lose them even harder. So it's very well done from FULLCLEAR actually to keep that Cannon out. Unfortunately for them, they are still losing the fights here, because just Bikan and Adafla doing Bikan and Adafla things.
That's right. I mean, just look at the Adafla. 9, 0, 9. Perfect stats, perfect farm. What can he do else? I mean, there's nothing to be done. And now he even pushes in solo as a front line. Just look at that, it's so funny. Cannon is on a good flank angle, maybe, especially, he has no flash, but there comes the tower.
Yeah, and now we can maybe see a team fight with the legs in it. We already have Orianna going down. Nomad is the next one to fall there, with Bikan already on their feet. Bastia is pretty low, and this will be a clean ace here. Even a quadra kill once again. Therefore, Adafla. Penta, not quite so much. Oh, it is actually Pentakill, sorry.
Yeah, well played by Adafla. Yeah. The guy who couldn't play the first best of series and then came back to lose, now carries his team back to Pertinax to get his revenge, essentially. and that's a cool story. But after the shot caller, and after the hero of the day secures a second chance against Pertinax Esports. FULLCLEAR with that, sadly, is out of the competition, but we will maybe see them back in the spring split, who knows. And yeah, but with that, our best of 5 is over with SLOTHS in the semifinals against Pertinax.
Yeah, I mean, GG, well played to FULLCLEAR. I know you guys have been working a lot and very hard as well throughout the split, and I hope you're not too sad about dropping out first now out of the promotion tournament. It was very close. So that's something for the FULLCLEAR fans now. But oh my god, am I happy that we are still in this. Oh my god, we are surviving. I am so happy. With SLOTHS still in there, and we can climb our way back up to the finals. I mean, Monday was just dreadful for me, and I think for the team as well. And now we can show once again what we are made of.
Yeah.
Oh,
congrats, man. Congrats. We will see more of that tomorrow, because the rematch against Pertinax is tomorrow. Oh man, will be something. Yeah. And with that, I would say we cut it short.
It will be a double cast from the start. I promise.
Okay.
It's not me doing it, but I promise it will be the case. And if not, I'm gonna beat some people up.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
But with that, yeah, I think so. It was a long day for me, so no more casting for today. Just want to sleep or to soccer or whatever. With that, was nice to have you here for the last game. Was nice to have you here for all the viewers, of course. And to Rishi.
Thank you very much for doing the entire day. I did see that you had a little co-caster. It was quite the cute and funny joke by the Rishi, but
yeah, you can even hear it. It's the best one. Yeah. Some people might say he was better than you.
Okay, I'm out of here.
That's just some people. Okay. But yeah, have a nice day, and thank you for watching, and thank you for the handsome beast.
Okay.